Looks like Jessica Alba might be stepping into a new chapter. And no, I am not talking about another business venture or movie role. The actress has reportedly started dating someone new, and he's 11 years younger.
I'm ready for kind of my next chapter.
So who is this mystery man? That would be actor Danny Ramirez. The two were recently spotted boarding a flight to Cancun together and returning to Los Angeles on July 13th. Coincidence? Not likely. Now, before you say, wasn't she just seen kissing someone in London? You're right, that happened too. But it's still unclear if that mystery man was Danny or someone else entirely. Either way, things are definitely heating up. So how did these two even cross paths? Well, according to sources, they were friends before it turned into something more. And while they've been keeping things low-key over the past month, they reportedly run in the same social circles, including one very famous mutual friend, Eva Longoria. And if Eva's in the mix, you know it's an A-list approved connection. But hold on, don't expect any family introductions just yet. Jessica, who shares 3 kids with her ex-husband, Cash Warren, Honor 17, Haven 13, and Hayes 7, isn't rushing anything. She's having fun, the insider revealed. It's not serious, and she's not planning on bringing him around the kids right now. Honestly, makes sense. This is her first time dating in decades, and she's just enjoying the moment.
I know, it has been
How you
years.
doing? How's it?
Now let's talk about Danny for a second. If he looks familiar, that's because he's literally part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He played Joaquin Torres, aka the New Falcon, in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and he's set to appear in Captain America: Brave New World. Oh, and if you're a Top Gun Maverick fan, you might remember him as Lieutenant Mickey Garcia. Not bad for someone who once planned on being a pro athlete, until injuries pushed him toward acting. He later trained at New York University's Tisch School of the Arts, and clearly it paid off. Right now, he's filming Avengers: Doomsday, which drops in late 2026. So yeah, he's got a pretty solid resume. As for Jessica, she publicly announced her split from Cash back in January after 17 years together. In her own words, "I've been on a journey of self-realization and transformation for years, both as an individual and in partnership with Cash." She continued, "I'm proud of how we've grown in our marriage over the last 20 years, and it's now time for us to embark on a new chapter of growth and evolution as individuals." And despite the breakup, the two are clearly staying on good terms. "We are moving forward with love, kindness, and respect for each other, and will forever be family," she shared. "Our children remain our highest priority, and we request privacy at this time."
And it's like, it's messy and it's hard and it's, humbling and all of that. But if you can figure out how to just find your way back to each other, it ends up being worth it.
The pair met on the set of the hit movie franchise where she played Sue Storm, and he worked as a director's assistant. But little did they know that this film would be more than just a job for them. It would be the start of their love story. From the moment they met, the spark was instant. But they could only pursue a friendship because Cash was in a relationship at the time. "I was attracted to his spirit and mind before it went to a physical place. We're both old people in young people's bodies," she said. Jessica knew when she met him that she was going to know him forever. He instantly felt like family to her.
Insanely beautiful. It was like one of the better experiences we ever had.
"We got each other. We're kindred spirits," she said. They opened up further about their meeting and their time on set, together in a YouTube video with their daughter Honor. The then 10-year-old had a lot of questions, and what better way to answer them than with millions of people watching? The parents admitted to their daughter that when they initially met, her dad had a legit girlfriend. Cash then had to take Polaroid pictures of the actress with different colored eye contacts to see which one was more realistic for her character. Alba said that if it wasn't for the contacts, Warren wouldn't have been taking photos of her, and they may have never made a connection. But his response was, "We would have made it. I would have figured it out. I was laser focused, zeroed in on her." Alba and Warren dated for the next 4 years, but it was only 1 year into their relationship that the actress said Cash was the right one for her. "His name is Cash. He's not famous, but he might be the one." And she was right. In late 2007, the couple announced they were expecting their first child. A month later, they were engaged. 5 months later, they were married. The two secretly tied the knot at a Beverly Hills courthouse when Jessica was 9 months pregnant, and they referred to their wedding day as laughably awkward.
I remember I looked over at him and we were in bed and I was like, do you have any meetings this morning? And he was like, I don't think so. And I was like, should we get married? And he was like, okay.
On the morning of their nuptials, they were lying in bed having a lazy morning and were excited to meet their daughter in a few weeks. They then made a decision that would change their lives. The pair hopped out of bed, got dressed, and drove to the courthouse. Even though neither one of them thought marriage was important, they felt it was outdated, but the love bug certainly bit them. They got married with no family or friends around. It was just them, the courthouse employee as their witness, and their unborn baby. But something changed in us that morning. It wasn't the dream wedding you deserved. In fact, it was laughably awkward. Standing under an arch of dusty plastic flowers in the courthouse chapel, we held hands and said, I do. I remember opening the car door for you, calling you Mrs. Warren for the first time, Cash said.
It was very memorable. I would say it was an adventure. I wouldn't say it was like a relaxing vacation. Nope, it was the opposite of that. It was an adventure. I would do it again because, life's about memories, right?
Just a few weeks after their wedding, the couple welcomed their first daughter, Honor. 3 years later, they welcomed baby girl, Haven. Then, on New Year's Eve in 2017, they welcomed their son, Hayes, to complete their family of 5. The LA's finest actress has admitted that both her daughters were a surprise, but their son was planned. She has also opened up about motherhood. After having her second child, she said, I feel like most of my irrational, overprotective, and weary new mom behavior evolved into a more laid-back approach with my second child. I've never been a true helicopter parent, but I've definitely stayed awake for endless hours doing research on everything I could do wrong.
Well, I would say I'm 100% mom all the time, right? I can't disconnect from that.
Warren and Alba both had a quality time rule in their household. When they were with their kids, they were fully present and keep their phones off because they wanted to keep their work time and their time for their kids separate. I think that we both have pretty high standards, and we expect a lot out of our kids, and we're both pretty disciplined in that approach to making sure that they are good kids that are going to grow up to be good people, Cash said. This couple seemed to have a solid romance that could not be easily shaken. But there was a time not too long ago that the world thought this strong couple was heading for Splitsville. They weren't seen at any events together, and the actress's regular posts of her husband died down drastically. Insider reports were saying that the couple had grown apart and simply just didn't have the time for one another anymore, which left them both feeling neglected. Then Alba attended an LA Rams game without her wedding ring, and the whispers of divorce got louder. The pair was finally seen out together at events, and they took a no-kids trip together to Hawaii. Their trip seemed to solidify their commitment to their marriage, or was it a last-ditch effort to save it? All the rumors that this couple was heading down the path to a multi-billion-dollar divorce were completely false. Jessica attended the Rams game with her parents, so she wasn't there shopping around for a new husband. Although not wearing a ring-raised eyebrows, there are many reasonable explanations as to why. Maybe she was getting it cleaned. Either way, Cash started reappearing on her social media feed. Jessica also spoke about the reality of marriage and said, if you're both deciding every day that it will work, regardless of the drama or anything that happens, if you're both like, I want to figure this out, nothing can really break that. Besides, Alba and Warren certainly looked like they were doing fine when she announced they had adopted 2 new puppies. It didn't help the rumors of separation when Alba spoke on Katherine Schwarzenegger Pratt's Instagram show about how she struggles to keep the spark alive, especially while raising 3 children. It's all rosy for 2.5 years, but then after that you become roommates. You're just going through the motions. You have the responsibilities. It's a lot of checking the boxes, right? She said. Well, we were not sure if roommates was the best way to describe your spouse, Jess. The LA's finest star admitted that finding alone time with her husband was challenging due to their busy schedules and raising their 3 children. After they had their first daughter, an outing for the couple alone was needed. It may not sound romantic, but their lives were so hectic that they decided that every Wednesday was their night. They wouldn't talk about the kids or the to-do lists at home. They would just focus on each other. At different times, there were different things that we needed, Around the time I had the kids, it was like, I need a date night once a week. And he'd be like, I need you to be present on the weekends and not work. So that's exactly what we did. At first, Warren and Alba were good about doing weekly date nights, but with time it slowed down. They still have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights blocked out where they don't do any kind of work. They tried to balance those nights between alone time for themselves and nights with their kids. They thoroughly believed that making time for your relationship was crucial in your daily routine to keep the romance alive. Nevertheless, in the end, Cash and Jessica went their separate ways, and we can only wish them happiness as they move forward on their own paths, while continuing to be loving and supportive parents to their children.